shoe, and I have like a little bit different. Yes, yes, it's a different spelling, but we call it chalitza, and it's in case the husband dies. He's the oldest brother, and he has no children. His wife, the widow, is supposed to marry his younger brother. And if they don't want to get married, she's giving him the shoe, like, you are free, I am free, we don't have to get married. So that's why this chalitza is also special action. And inside of the synagogue, which we will visit, Clausen Synagogue, on our tour next Tuesday, you will also see this beautiful Aaron HaKodesh with fully dressed Torah, and the Torah, the scrolls of Torah, how they are open, how they look like. So look at the chat and the pictures. And we are now done with the Clausen Synagogue, and we are about to visit the all new synagogue. It has two names. That's the oldest one, we have already seen it. It was built in 1270. And according to legend, it was built when angels brought the stones from Jerusalem temple to the basis of this synagogue. And they brought them, but under condition. And in Hebrew, this under condition, it's altenau, altenau. And then in Yiddish and in German, altenau, if you read it, it's altenoi. Altenoi means in English old new. And that's why the synagogue it's known as Old New. That's more like touristic name. Yes, Sheila, thank you. And Altenoi, it's more like the Hebrew name of it. And it's a school of Maharal. The shul or school, it's like a synagogue in this case. And it's like a place where Maharal was sitting. We are now at the back of this Alt Neu Shul, or Old New Synagogue, and I will post here more pictures from the interior, but as I have promised, we will see it on the Tuesday tour. So I am posting, thanks a lot, Diane, 2 pictures from the interior. Let's look back. That's this little street we just came from, with the town hall at the corner, the high synagogue, and the Alt Neu Shul, or Old New Synagogue here. Anyone knows what or who is hiding at the attic of Alt Neu Shul here? You know, in 16th century, something or someone was hidden there. Yes, yes, I see you. Everyone knows. Yeah, Golem was hidden there because Golem started to be a little bit crazy. I will post you 3 pictures from one lovely historic comedy, check one. But there is a Golem, one of the main figures. So you can see him on a picture, man made of clay to protect a community. Something like a Superman. On one of these pictures, you see one man putting some special writing in his forehead. It's called Shem Ham Foresh. It makes Golem alive, and then he's protecting the community, getting the orders only from the man who made him alive, which usually was Maharal, the Rabbi Lev, who created him. And he also put him to the sleep and hid him at the attic of Alt Neu Shul, just now behind me. I will come back. I'm just showing you, meanwhile, the street here. And Golem is supposed to be up there since 16th century, and actually is strictly forbidden to go up there to the attic of the synagogue. Strictly forbidden by Maharal because of Golem. But 100 years ago, one famous Czech Jewish journalist, Egon Erwin Kish, went up, and what do you think? Did he find Golem there? Write me down. My birth family name is Lowy. Can be, but doesn't have to be, Aviva. I don't know. It's long time. So anyone knows? No. Stu is writing, no, he haven't found the Golem. Anyone have any other idea? Think about it. No, Sheila? Uh-huh. So, what's the name of the journalist? Don't have it written, but it's Egon Erwin Kish. K-I-S-H. K-I-S-H. Yes, thank you, Karel. Egon Erwin Kish, C-S-H. I see. Yes, thank you, Yvonne. He found only ashes. Yeah, but we don't know if they were the ashes of Golem or not. Because Golem either left the place or was buried somewhere else or changed to be the ashes. Which is actually what I think about it, that Golem is there, however, only in the form of the dust. So you choose your version. You can make your version if Golem is there or is not. However, was not found in the original shape anymore. And by the way, we are looking at the statue of Moses. You see, Moses, after 40 years traveling over the desert, it's absolutely exhausted, desperate here on this little park. Let's look back. And I will show you some pictures. Moses, like the first book, who wrote the Genesis. Thank you, Noreen. Moses, yeah, thanks, Beverly. My pronunciation probably was not the best in the name. We call him in Czech. We say Mojžíš, so it's a little bit different. Moses. So that was here. Look around, because the whole quarter, except the synagogues we are seeing, the oldest one from 1270, was built. Was built, as I told you at the beginning, 1903, 1913. The street we are looking at right now is the most expensive street in Prague. It's called the Paris Street, like the capital of France, Paris Street, with all the biggest brands and biggest cars and the most expensive apartments. So it's this street. For this street, also, 3 synagogues were taken down, unfortunately. However, probably thanks to the fact that they were taken down, the others were changed to museums. Now I'm posting a picture of one of the synagogues. And thanks to this fact that for the objects from these synagogues that were taken down, one of them was standing exactly here, the second one here. So thanks to them, in 1906, they built the museum, and that's the reason why all the synagogues survived the Second World War as a museums. At the end of the street, thanks Colleen, thanks a lot for the tip. Yeah, just at the end of the street, it's the Old Town Square with the Old Town Tower with astronomical clock. We have been there last week. So for your orientation, that's where we are right now. And I will show you a couple more pictures how the whole quarter looked like before it was taken down and built a little bit up. So I have here a picture even of the mayor of the city during the flood in 19th century, how he had to go on a boat through the streets of Jewish town. Oh, thanks, Margarita, thanks a lot. So now a couple more pictures, so just how the quarter looked like before. Sorry, I'm posting 4 pictures altogether, so I'm giving you some time to go through them. You see, it was not really bad. However, our municipality was thinking like, that's so close to the old town square. It's so bad condition, no hygiene here, no sewage system. So even though it's picturesque buildings, and I would love to have it, honestly, Czech people are a little bit nostalgic, so I would love to see it in this original form. That's what I'm showing you now. That's what we have instead of it. This one is the newest building, newest block, so it means that's from 1903, 1913, sorry. 1913. It's a little bit windy when this playing with my gimbal. So let's go. At least it was not windy when we started. It was even raining before we started, so I'm happy that it's quite lovely. Thanks a lot, Aviva, for your support. So I'm now checking what. I have some pictures, so I will take you for some nice view, and meanwhile post you some pictures because there is one more synagogue which is supposed to be the most beautiful one. However, from outside it doesn't look much like, you will think it's just ordinary building, but from inside, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, wow. It was built in 1868. Look at the chat, at the pictures. 1868, when this synagogue, called Spanish synagogue, and today we say, Aviva, exactly. It's supposed to be the most beautiful synagogue in Europe. And, yeah, thank you, Noreen. So, it's the most beautiful synagogue in Europe, and it's there. It was built 1868. And I will post two more pictures of this one because it's really beautiful. But that's not enough. We don't have only this beautiful synagogue, but when these three synagogues I have told you were taken down here in this area, still there was pretty big Jewish community. And for them, they needed to build another one. Instead of these three, they have to build one new. And this one, we can see it on my tour when we walk around the train stations of Prague. We've been there, I think, at the beginning of the month. So we will go there maybe in March again. And that one there is called Jerusalem. Look at it. I'm posting it from the outside because this one is beautiful exterior as well. And honestly, I think this Jerusalem one is even more beautiful one than the Spanish. Just doesn't have the title the most beautiful European synagogue. So now you will be even surprised when I will post you the pictures from the interior. So three pictures, Jerusalem synagogue, 1906 year. Enjoy it. Meanwhile, I am showing you, I quite love the lights of this little restaurant. By the way, behind this restaurant is a Jewish cemetery. We are kind of all the time we are walking around it. Look at the map. If you have chance, you will see where we are, how we have walked. And I want to take you to the river just for some nice views to castle and the city. I have to find a spot before some cars. Okay, we can go. By the way, on the right hand is the building. Already we are leaving the Jewish town. This is behind me. It's again the wall of the cemetery. And we have started our tour exactly there at the corner, at the other side of this building. That's where we have started our tour. And I want to take you now. We are almost at the end. So this is kind of already post tour. I am taking you to the river for some nice views. So right hand, it's Charles University. The last synagogue we have seen was, you mean on the pictures, it was Jerusalem synagogue. The blue one, I call it blue because there's a lot of blue colors. In reality, the last one we have seen was Old New or Alt Neu. So beautiful lights. We have, that's one of the best views, and that's not that touristic. People don't get here behind the law faculty of Charles University, but we are doing it right now. So on the other side of the river, we have view to the government building. It's here, thanks Donna. Above, at the top of the hill, that one, it's a prime minister villa. Then the pavilion with lights. My favorite place, there is a restaurant, and from there is a beautiful view this direction because that's the way to the curve of the river with a lot of bridges. Lovely view from there. And all above, it's a hill. There's a big park. When it's light, I will take you there because there's lovely view to the city. Meanwhile, just like this, the boats are starting. Mostly the boat trips are starting here under me. So these places you are seeing, they are ports for the touristic boats. They are now, there is no boat because they are traveling the river, having lunch. Some of them are being jazz music. And this is the view to the castle again. So the castle is the biggest medieval castle district from here to here. That's all castle with a cathedral. It's presidential office. Just this last week, I mean, what is it, Monday? So on Saturday, we elected our new president. Yeah. Do they have a market along there? Not here, not in this part. There is no market, but if we will walk this way and about, let's say, 3 kilometers there, I've been there on a Thursday, we've been walking it. That's where the markets are on a Saturdays. Thanks you for your support. So that's yes, we have a new president, by the way. He's going to be inaugurated in March, but we elected a new one just on Saturday, 2 days ago. And then San Nicholas Church. Beautiful Baroque church. We have talked about it already. So, Master Petr Pavel. Yes, Ivana. Sometimes I'm not used to the name yet, so I can say Pavel Petr because it's like Peter and Paul. So his name is Peter Paul. But yeah, new president. And that's the San Nicholas Church. That's where we are going. I will be there on Saturday. So Tony, let me know. Uh, we can meet, or if you want. This is Czech version of Eiffel Tower, beautiful observation tower, Petřín Hill. You see some tram riding over the bridge at the moment. Behind it, the tower a little bit. It's one side of Charles Bridge, and that light here is the middle stop of funicular. There is a funicular coming up down from the bottom of the hill up to the hill somewhere here, and that's the middle stop just there. Nice hotel, cafe, restaurant, views. So I just wanted to take you here to finish the tour with this like optimistic views. You see, it's kind of the camera is moving. That's the wind, which is really pretty strong at the moment. So I'm sorry the gimbal doesn't hold it. And so this is already the end of the Jewish town. However, if you want to stay a little bit longer, I can walk a little bit by the river. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Thanks, Maria. Thanks that you have enjoyed it. I will be more than happy if you join me tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow, not many people sign, but we are going to the little bit like a suburb behind the castle. It's like a Montmartre of Prague. Thanks, Noreen. And that's a beautiful place. People think it's just, it's. But when I take my clients, we start there and then we visit the castle and they are like, oh, that was much better than the castle. So people like the New World. So I will be happy if you join me tomorrow for the New World. On Wednesday, I am having Saint Agnes Monastery. The interiors, Gothic arts, talking about some Madonnas or something. Yeah, that's great, Aviva. And the next week, on Monday, we are walking the old town. That's the place where you haven't been. I believe no one. I will answer. And then we are having this home tour, but we will visit the synagogues inside. I believe you will enjoy it. It's a movie, so it's gonna be moving like now, and some pictures as well. So how big is the Jewish community nowadays? So Orthodox Jewish community is 1,500 people. However, that's the only number we know because there can be some like non-Orthodox communities. This number we don't know. And then there can be some people who don't see themselves Jewish, they don't care. So these numbers we of course don't know either. So we can say 1,500 Orthodox Jewish community. Will you be repeating this live stream tour? I plan it when it's more light. Yeah, usually I do it like every 2 months. So what is it? It's like February, March, or something like 1st April, or something like this. Stacy, how the community was. So when we talk about 18th century, that was the time when each family had to have a number, unique number. So we know it was about 10,000 families. So imagine about 4 or 5 people in a family. That was the whole country. And then, like the 19th century and the beginning of 20th century, where the Jewish community was fully emancipated, so all the same rights as anyone else, that we are talking, the number is coming up to 200,000. 200,000. Most of it were living in Prague. And then imagine from these 200,000, 80,000 people were killed during Holocaust, during Shoah. That's it. The other 80,000, I'd like, yeah. The 80,000 then died, 80,000 then left the country. After the Second World War, a lot of Jewish people left because in 1948 we became communistic country, and communists didn't like Jewish people as well. So they usually left the place to the United States, to Israel, and places like this. And what we have is this 1,500 Orthodox Jewish community, and then a lot of people who don't care. Yeah. And actually Czech people don't care either. So we don't know who is Jewish, who is not. When I started to do the tours, yeah, Stacy, that scene was at the beginning. However, we are having another tour, which is like about Second World War, which is also going through the Jewish town, but looking at it not from this historical point of view, which I'm doing, but it's more about the Second World War, about Terezín and these places. So it's the tour, Second World War. Either I will do it or one of my colleagues. I have a member who is Czech who converted. That's quite interesting. It's not that common that people are converting to Judaism. It's more like they are coming back to their roots. Like there is one quite popular boy, or he's grown-up man, but he won. He is famous because he won the Olympic Games, and just now he started to go to visit the synagogues uh, because his family was originally Jewish. On one tour, we've been doing this tour on a Friday, I believe, so we have met him walking by from the service. And you can see a boat riding by on the other side. The tram is riding. So the hill on the left-hand side, it's called Letna, meaning summer hill. There are a lot of lights in this area. There is a summer garden, a beer garden. It's, lights are there, but I don't think there is many people at the moment enjoying their beer, as it's really cold today, and yesterday were the coldest days. After it was even snowing, but the snow is gone at the moment. Did 53,000 of the 80,000 parish? No, it was different. In Terezín, people went from Prague, but not only from Prague, but from Czech Republic, but not only from Czech Republic, but also from Hamburg, from Denmark. So in Terezín, there were Jewish people mainly from Prague, but not only. And the numbers there in Terezín were changing during the time. So it means in the first, there was just a group of men who were preparing the place to be a ghetto, to be a camp. And then people were sent there. Then imagine there was like 40,000 people. Out of them, each month, 1,000 went to the death camps, to Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Riga on trains. And then new people came to Terezin. So it was not like the total number of people who went through Terezin was much higher than 53,000. 53,000 is the maximum number of people that was there at one time. Yeah. So that's, if I have confused you before, now I believe I have explained how these 53,000 are calculated. The sad thing that even in Terezin, people, Jewish people, were chosen to these death transports by the members of the kind of, they had like a, I don't know the English word, something, I would say municipality, within the walls of Jewish town. They were Jewish elders who were responsible for the behaving of people there and so on. Of course, they were Nazi guards and so on. However, these Jewish elders were making the lists of Jewish people who are going to the death camps. It's not easy position when you think about it, because you can say, I'm not going to sign anyone, no one is going to the death camp. But then the Nazis will tell you, okay, so if you don't give me 100 names, I am going to kill 300 people right now. I will just take them from the street. So that's better. You prepare the list of 100 men. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. Not probably, yeah, Stacy, probably you then rat. I'm not sure, so I can't say like 100% yes, but I think so. So these people had to make the list. And I have read a couple of diaries of people who were in Terezin. One of them was a young girl. She was like 18. And she was able always, when her name and her mother's was on a list, she always went to the elders and kind of like smile at them and ask them not to put their name there, and they cut her, like take her out. That's interesting, I would say. Her mother didn't survive. She died from starving at camp. However, this girl survived, and he wrote the diary. So that's interesting. One of the best diaries I have read was from one journalist, and he wrote his experience, and he was almost everywhere. He was there when the Nazis won the election in the border parts of Bohemia of our country. He was there with Anschluss of Austria when Hitler took Austria, and he was the first in the first group going. Um, if I remember the names of the diaries, I had them from my account on library, so I can look it up. You know, contact me on Prague by Katy. Actually, they are all in Czech, but can be interesting. Prague by Katy, and I will look the names of. I know that this journalist was Kraus. However, I don't know the other names, and I have read 5 of these, so you can try.